Hi guys, I'm Vanessa. Welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a reaction, and as I mentioned like 2 videos ago, I'm just going across the world and I'm stopped at Norway currently. So the next couple of videos is just going to be a reaction to Norway. I think there's just one more video left in it, and then I'll be moving across to another country. But for today's video, I'm going to be checking out why Norway is full of Teslas. Now, my thoughts on Teslas, like 2016, 2017, I was all about Teslas. I love them. I thought they were the best thing since sliced bread. However, as time went on, I've been moving away from that. I think it's just because of things I've seen on social media about different, things that has happened with it. So I've been moving away from it. Maybe in the future I'll go back to liking them again, but I'm kind of like, not really feeling them so much. Nonetheless, they're the way of the future. They are a symbol of luxury in today's society, and apparently Norway is full of them, and for this video I'm going to be finding out why Norway is full of Teslas. Yeah, without further ado and chit chat, let's get into it.
Where in this city? Up until today, I had seen a total of about 5 Teslas in my entire life, and 3 of those 5 were behind glass cases in luxury malls. I've been in Oslo for like a couple of hours and I've seen like 50 Teslas. There's one right there. They're beautiful, they're sleek, they are efficient, they're fast, and they're $70,000. Here comes another one up the road. Oh yeah.
It sounds like a Lambo.
100% electricity, no gas, and it can go from like 0 to 100 kilometers in like 5 seconds. I have no idea, I'm not a car person, so I don't know if that's right.
0 to 100 acceleration 3.1 seconds.
Here in Norway in 2014, Tesla actually broke a record for number of cars sold in a month for a single model.
What?
Of any kind of car, not just electric cars. And you look around for a few minutes and you realize it's not just Teslas. There are electric cars everywhere. Like, I see electric cars in the United States, but nothing like this. Oh, there's a Tesla. There's a Tesla. There it goes. Turns out that Oslo is actually the epicenter of electric cars.
It's like raining all the time, isn't it? Love it.
You can tell which cars are electric by their license plate. So this E at the beginning determines if it's electric. In 2016 in the United States, of all the new cars that were purchased, about 1% were electric, more like 0.9%. In Norway, it was 29%.
What?
And that trend is only speeding up. In January of this year, the share was like 37% or something of all the cars purchased being electric. Where on earth have I ended up? I've been kind of wandering around.
Looks sketchy.
I feel like I'm about to enter a secret cave. The real question is, can I fly my drone over this amazing waterfall? Never flown a drone in Norway before, so we'll see how this goes.
I think this area has a lot of potential, There's a lot of potential to be a attraction place to hang out. See the nice foliage, waterside, and got all nice little aesthetics going on. I always see the beauty in things. I know they have some like graffiti on the wall and whatnot, but I think this little area is cool, and I think graffiti art is is actually cool nowadays. People go out their way to take pictures beside them, but I love areas like this with waterfalls. Love it. I like this. It looks like a nice scene for a movie.
99% of Norway's electricity comes from hydropower, which is like dams. So you have really cheap, clean energy.
What? I had no idea about that. That 90-something% of their energy come from hydropower. Funny enough, I thought they had oil. I don't know why I thought they had oil, but I thought they did. Maybe they do, but let me ask. Hey Alexa, does Norway have oil?
From Harvard.edu. Norway is a major oil producer, pumping more than 1.6 million barrels of oil per day from its oil-rich offshore areas. If you'd like another answer, just say, Alexa, next.
Alexa, thank you. So I learned about hydropower in social studies in school a long time ago. But it's funny to see it come full circle, especially in a country that's oil rich, going towards hydropower. I really appreciate that, you know, because especially with the current climate and global warming and just increasing pollution, it's really good to see a country really moving towards this. If only other countries in the world would pay attention.
That can be used to power these electric cars.
Page from their book would be good.
The real core explanation here, the reason why there are so many Teslas and so many electric cars
That's
on the
good
road,
and sustainable.
comes down to government policy. The government incentivizes very, very strongly people to buy electric cars. This happens in various forms. You get free parking if you drive an electric car. You get access to the HOV lane, which has way less traffic. You don't have to pay registration fees. You get tax deductions on your income tax. And perhaps the biggest incentive of all is on the business side. Companies like Tesla don't have to pay sales tax for selling here in Norway. And so all of this combined makes it actually way, way cheaper for someone to buy a Tesla here in Norway than to buy one in the United States. Well, it's been fun exploring this random little area. I think the big takeaway from this whole entire journey so far is
I love that area.
So, just remember, even thugs cry. Alright, this is perhaps my favorite site so far. There are 2,000 of these charging stations here in Oslo. Excuse me, can I ask you a couple? I'm so curious about. If I record it?
So it's all free.
It's free?
Yeah, it's free. This is what you get from buying an electric car. You get free charging and you can go in and out of Oslo without paying for the bompenger.
It's a win-win-win-win-win. Free parking, free charging, less taxes, cheaper, everything. It's a win-win-win. No wonder. And it makes more sense. Like, I don't know why other countries, but then again, maybe Norway has the resources to do this, but it just shows you like they're thinking ahead. You see how smart that is? They already have access to oil, but are they using the oil? They're going more towards hydropower electricity, and then using that electricity to charge cars, encouraging people to use electric cars, and incentivizing it in a lot of ways to make it more affordable and more accessible. It's just, you know, it's just a win-win-win. I really like that. Yeah, I think the government, what do you call them? The leaders in Norway are really smart. I think the leaders in Norway are really smart.
Have a great day. Yeah. Bye-bye. All of these subsidies we're talking about that help fund these electric cars are funded by what's called the Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's this huge fund that Norway has. It's worth almost $1 trillion. The government owns it. It's basically their rainy day fund. And this is what they use.
Alexa, can you tell me about Norway's Sovereign Wealth Fund?
From WBCSD.org. Norway's Sovereign Wealth Fund, the world's largest, has been built up from surpluses from the country's oil industry and has stakes in some 9,000 companies, owning 1.4% of all listed shares globally.
Wow.
If you'd like another answer, just say, Alexa,
fund
next.
Subsidies. The
Alexa,
Sovereign Wealth
thank
Fund
you.
in Norway is the
You're
government.
so
owns it.
welcome.
It's basically
Your
their
kindness
rainy
really gives me
electric
a
cars
charge.
are funded by what's called the Sovereign Wealth Fund. It's this huge fund that Norway has. It's worth almost $1 trillion. The government owns it. It's basically their rainy day fund. And this is what they use to fund the subsidies. The Sovereign Wealth Fund in Norway is comprised almost entirely of oil money, oil and gas money, fossil fuels. Norway is a huge producer of oil and gas, and they sell that to other countries and reap the benefits in terms of revenue and put that into their Sovereign Wealth Fund, which then gets funneled into subsidies for electric cars. So they're not burning the oil here and releasing carbon into the atmosphere, but they're sending it off to go be burned somewhere else. I asked my friend Tor.
Well, I think the flip side of that is they use hydroelectricity, which is smart. Even though they have oil, they don't use it. They send it off. But the only downside I see to that is other countries that are using the oil, they're contributing to pollution that affects the world as a whole, even though it's further away from Norway. Eventually, I feel like it does catch up. It might take a longer time, but I think eventually it will. I think it's for the rest of the world to realize different things that they can utilize to get energy, like solar energy, hydroenergy, and wind energy. I know they can use wind turbines. Just, look into alternative sources of energy that can help overall. I know probably Norway sees it as advantageous at the moment to capitalize on the oil and use hydro power within their country, but overall, even though it's smart, I think the long game, it might come back to affect every country when global warming, increases. But nonetheless, that's just my thought. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, because I kind of made it like so wordy.
What do you feel
Anyways,
about
let's continue.
Norway being this green, sustainable society, but really depending at the end of the day on fossil fuels in order to make that happen? Is that a tension within the Norwegian psyche?
So I think the way we resolve
That's funny.
is
That's what I just
basically
I was
that
just
the world
trying to
needs
explain.
oil. It needs, there's a lot of countries that are developing, China, India, that will always need energy. And we would argue that we extract it more greenly than other countries.
Yeah.
We're buying good conscience for sure.
Yeah.
But it's better than not doing anything. We're fully aware that this green shift we're talking about is funded by, oil money. The irony is not lost on us in any way.
So I think Tor is right. I think that the fact that Norway is exporting its carbon footprint to other countries, it doesn't cancel out all of the wonderful, progressive, green things that they're doing here. This is a story about incentives and green infrastructure and a green society, but it's also a story about how fossil fuels continue to make the world go round. I am tired and jet lagged, and I haven't slept in like 23 hours, so I'm gonna go to bed now. It was a fun day chasing Teslas. Tomorrow, we go to the North Pole.